yourself, I imagine, a roller coaster of emotions. What switch got flipped in that fourth period and overtime?
Our guys, they care. They understand what we're playing for. We came in the second half, talked about it as a group, made a few adjustments, and to their credit, they went out and executed on both ends of the floor.
And what you're playing for is the postseason, and you've punched your ticket there now in some form or fashion.
All right. I didn't know that.
At least playing.
All right.
What does that mean to you after all the ups and downs of this season?
It's a blessing, first and foremost. Just want to thank God for the opportunity to be here, coaching some amazing guys, our coaching staff, our whole staff in general. It's incredible to have an opportunity 2 years in a row to play in the postseason and playoffs. And we're continuing to build. So for us, it's a huge step in the right direction.
Different guys filling different roles. When they're swarming BI like that and a guy like Herb can step up and have the night he had offensively, how much does that matter to your team? And what does it mean to have a guy like that who can perform so well on both sides of the ball?
Well, I thought it was a huge growth moment for BI in the first half. Dylan Brooks and the rest of those guys were swarmed all over him, and he did a great job of just setting screens, giving his body up for the team, getting guys open, not getting frantic or panicking. And then the second half, the floodgates opened for him offensively. Herb was the recipient of the screening and all of the things that BI and CJ and those guys did in the first half. And, you know, we talked about the threes, 17 to 7 last game, and that's a big deficit to make up. And so the carryover tonight was excellent.
Jaren Jaxson Jr. was playing a couple feet off Herb for a lot of that game. You know, Herb responded on offense. Just what did you like about the night Herb had, you know, and specifically against that type of coverage?
We're all extremely proud of what Herb did tonight, career high, but he executed the game plan, and the game plan was don't, worry about how they're guarding you. I know Jaren Jaxson, we've seen this before. He's going to sag off of you wherever you are on the floor. You'll have opportunities to score, but look to connect the teammates too, because it's really difficult to get from the paint all the way up to shooters, and Herb just continued to make the right play over and over again.
Yeah, and I mean, like losing that lead at the end of the fourth quarter, that can oftentimes be deflating. What allowed you guys to just lock back in and play well in the overtime period?
Yeah, we don't want to get in the habit of doing that. But, it's good to teach, learn, grow off of a win. And I thought it said a lot about our guys, our group, that, we had some brain farts out there, and we shook it off and went into overtime and just executed.
What kind of was your message going into overtime after, having that happen?
I said we've done this to ourselves, okay? So that's number one. Let's go out and win the game. They're on a back-to-back just like we are, so let's go out and get it.
What was the key? I mean, you mentioned Brandon and the way that Dylan Brooks was guarding him. What was kind of the key to start getting him going there in the second half?
Well, making sure that we communicate the game plan. We knew they were going to guard him like that, so just kind of making sure that we communicate the game plan. Brandon he understands it, he's buying into it, and then the moment you set screens and guys continue to get open, they have to adjust. They made the adjustment. Now BI is playing fast, he's getting the ball in transition, he's rebounding the ball, pushing it, and he's still making plays for his teammates. So just, like I said, that's a huge growth moment for him, and as we progress, teams are going to try to play him like that.
We talked about the lack of three-pointers yesterday, how big a factor that was in yesterday's game. What was it like just seeing that three-point barrage in the fourth quarter and just the way that swung the game and got the crowd into it?
Well, all of our guys work on it every day, practice, shoot around, what have you, and so trusting our work is important, and we're more than capable of taking 35-plus threes and shooting a great percentage. I think over the last 10 games, we're one of the top teams as far as percentage and shooting three ball. So, sometimes it can be difficult when teams are shooting it and we're not. And so we just want to have more balance. And tonight, it was good to see that carryover.
And we talked a lot last year about how important it was for guys like Trey and Herb just to have that experience of being in big games and seeing what it feels like. What's it like seeing where they are now, where they're playing a huge role in getting this win for you guys?
It's incredible. It's incredible to see the growth and the steps that they're taking as basketball players, as high character guys in our locker room. Both of those guys are leaders, and it's a blessing to have them.
Was there a thought to maybe challenge that call?
The free throw?
Yeah, the hook.
I couldn't see it. And so, I looked over to the coaching staff, and nobody gave me heads up that I should challenge it. So it was a difficult play.
And then just what overall about the job that Larry did, especially having to come in early in that third, play a little bit longer than, longer stretches than we've kind of seen him do. Just what do you think about the job that he did tonight?
I told him tonight that, Jaren Jaxson he's a handful out there. He's dang on near 7 feet, can shoot the ball, can put it on the floor, can make plays. I thought Larry did a really nice job of just making his shots tough. He's going to touch the ball enough where he's going to score. But I know Larry didn't think this, but that was a tough 40 tonight by Jaxson Jr.
In the first 3 quarters or so, it seemed like Trey was a little bit quiet in terms of his shot making, even though they got some good looks. What does it speak to both his confidence and his teammates' confidence in Trey to keep finding him and encourage him? Hey, I know you missed a few open ones, but in the fourth quarter, here are the same shots, and then he's able to deliver.
Yeah, I think that speaks to Trey's character, and then having great teammates that communicate on the floor, understand that he's a huge part of our offense, and eventually he's going to get open looks. Just stay with it, and that's what the guys did tonight.
And, beyond the threes, 39 free throw attempts. Not often you see a lot of three-point attempts matched by a lot of free throw attempts. How do you like the 4 team played with tonight?
I thought it was a good balance for us, and the reason why is we're a team that normally attacks the paint and score in the paint. We didn't necessarily get the scores from a field goal perspective, but we got them at the free throw line. So still having that balance of shot fake drive, swing it to a teammate, attack the basket, and tonight was good to see just an overall carryover from the previous game.
Big minutes from a lot of guys tonight.
Yeah.
It would have been easy to say, hey, second night of a back-to-back, down 19, packing in. Can you speak to the character of your team to kind of fight back through that?
Yeah. Once again, I'm extremely blessed to have a group of guys that care. They care about each other. They take these roles and platform that they have seriously, and they go out and display it every night. And it doesn't always result in a win, but it's a joy to coach this group. It really is.
Well, it's the first time in franchise history that 3 different guys scored 30 points. What does that just mean to be able to do that?
You mean to tell me David West, Chris, and myself didn't score 30 in a game? Once again, it speaks volumes of the guys' ability, the work that they put in, the coaching staff, everybody, our whole group, just putting in a ton of work to get to this point, and it's good to see these guys have breakout games like they did tonight.
Will, your message to the New Orleans fan base going into your last home game on Friday?
First and foremost, thank you. The fans have been awesome. They've stuck with us through the highs and lows of a season. We're extremely blessed to have a loud group of people coming in, screaming, going crazy, getting on the refs. It's fun to play in our building, and we're excited to get back on our home floor and finish the regular season out at home.